All right, Baruch Hashem, we made it to Daf 100. This is the Daf for March 27th, 2025, Sanhedrin 100. It says, I have to back up to the last one. It says, Rav said, like those from the house of Benjamin, the doctor, who say, in what manner have the sages benefited us with all their Torah study? Never, and then now it's 100, never have they permitted a raven for us, nor have they prohibited a dove for us. They merely tell us matters stated explicitly in the Torah. The Gemara relates with regard to Rava. When they would bring a possible treifa from the house of Benjamin before him, when he would see in it a reason to permit its consumption, Rava would say to them, see that I am permitting a raven for you, as this is an animal that appeared forbidden. When he would see in it a reason to prohibit its consumption, Rava would say to them, see that I am prohibiting a dove for you. Rav Papa says the Epikoros mentioned in the Mishnah is referring to one who conducts himself like one who says, those sages with contemptuous overtones. The Gemara relates that Rav Papa himself forgot in one instance and said, like those sages, and he observed a fast to achieve atonement for expressing himself in that manner. The Gemara relates, Levi bar Shmuel and Rav Huna bar Chia were mending mantles for the sacred scrolls of the Torah, for the sacred scrolls of the school of Rav Yehuda. When they reached the scroll of Esther, they said, this scroll of Esther does not require a mantle, as it is not as significant as the other sacred scrolls. Rav Yehuda said to them, a statement of that sort also seems to express irreverence, like the irreverence typical of an Epikoros, as you should not have referred to the scroll of Esther as this scroll. Rav Nachman says an Epikoros is one who calls his teacher by his name and who does not call him rabbi, as Rabbi Yochanan said, for what reason was Gehazi punished? It is due to the fact that he called his teacher by his name, as it is stated, and Gehazi said, my lord the king, this is the woman and this is her son, whom Elisha revived, 2 Kings 8:5. The Gemara relates, Rabbi Yirmiyah sat before Rabbi Zera and said, the Holy One, blessed be he, will cause a river to emerge from the Holy of Holies, and alongside it all sorts of delicacies will grow. As it is stated, in the river upon its bank, on this side and on that side shall grow every tree for food, whose leaf shall not wither, neither shall its fruit fall. It shall bring forth new fruit every month, because their waters emerge from the sanctuary, and its fruit shall be for food, and its leaf for medicine. Ezekiel 47:12. A certain elder said to Rabbi Yirmiyah, well done, and so Rabbi Yochanan said, well done. Rabbi Yirmiyah said to Rabbi Zera, does a statement of that sort, when one who is not a Torah scholar says to a sage that his statement is correct, seem like the irreverence typical of an Epikoros? Rabbi Zera said to him, but isn't he supporting your statement? He meant no disrespect. Rather, if you heard that at times supporting the statement of a sage is irreverent, this is what you heard. It is like that case in which Rabbi Yochanan sat and taught. The Holy One, blessed be he, is destined to bring precious stones and jewels that are 30 by 30 cubits, and he will bore in them an opening 10 cubits wide and 20 cubits in height, and place them to serve as the gates of Jerusalem, as it is stated. And I will make your pinnacles of rubies and your gates of carbuncles. Isaiah 54, verse 12. A certain student mocked him and said, now at present we do not find precious stones comparable in size to the egg of a palm dove. We find stones as large as those that you described. Will we find stones as large as those that you described? And it's interesting because actually, down in like Brazil, there's caves that they found like massive gemstones, like tens of feet long. It's unbelievable. So in this day, this is possible. Sometime later, the student's ship set sail at sea. When he saw the ministering angels cutting precious stones that size, he said to the angels, for whom are these stones? The angels said to him, the Holy One, blessed be he, is destined to place them at the gates of Jerusalem. When the student returned, he found Rabbi Yochanan, who was sitting and teaching. The student said to him, my teacher, teach. It is fitting for you to teach. Just as you said with regard to the precious stones, so I saw. Rabbi Yochanan said to him, good for nothing. If you did not see it, you would not believe it. You are one who mocks the statements of the sages. Rabbi Yochanan directed his eyes toward him in anger and rendered him a pile of bones. The Gemara raises an objection from Rabraita to the statement of Rabbi Yochanan that the gates will be 20 cubits high. The sages engaged in a dispute concerning the interpretation of the verse. It says, quote, "And I made you go upright," Leviticus 26:13. Rabbi Meir says that in the end of days, people will be 200 cubits tall, the equivalent of twice the height of Adam, the first man, who was 100 cubits tall. Rabbi Yehuda says people will be 100 cubits tall, corresponding to the height of the sanctuary and its walls, as it is stated, "For our sons are as plants grown up in their youth, our daughters as cornerstones, carved in the fashion of a palace." Psalm 144, verse 12, indicating the sons and daughters will be 100 cubits tall, the height of the sanctuary. If the people are that tall, how will they enter gates 20 cubits high? The Gemara answers, when Rabbi Yochanan says that the openings will be 20 cubits high, he's referring to the windows through which wind enters. The gates through which people enter will extend considerably higher. Apropos the river that will emerge from the Holy of Holies, the Gemara asks, what is the meaning of the phrase, "and its leaf for medicine"? Rabbi Yitzchak, so that's leaf for medicine, or literufa. Rabbi Yitzchak bar Avodimi and Rav Chisda disagree. One says it is an abbreviation for the phrase "to unlock the mouth," or lahatir peh, that is above, the leaf heals the mute. And one says that is the abbreviation, but it means to unlock the mouth, that is below, a euphemism for healing the womb of a barren woman. It is also stated that other sages engaged in a dispute concerning this matter. Hizkiah says that the reference is to unlock the mouth of mutes, and Bar Kapara says that the reference is to unlock the mouth of barren women. Rabbi Yochanan says the reference is to actual medicine. The Gemara asks, according to that opinion, what is the meaning of the term for medicine, or literufa? Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani says it is an abbreviation meaning to beautify the countenance, or litoar panim, of the keepers of the mouth, or the pei. The sages who labored with their mouths to study Torah in this world. Rabbi Yehuda, son of Rabbi Shimon, taught, for anyone who blackens his face while toiling over matters of Torah in this world, the Holy One, blessed be He, shines His brightness in the world to come, as it states, His locks are curly black as raven, Song of Songs 5:11. And thereafter it is written, His countenance is like Lebanon, excellent as the cedars, Song of Songs 5:15, followed by, His palate is like sweets, Song of Songs 5:16. One who engages in sweets, that is the Torah study, in this world until he is blackened, black as a raven, is privileged to shining brightness in the world to come. Rabbi Tanhum, son of Rabbi Hanilai, says, with regard to anyone who starves himself over matters of Torah in this world, the Holy One, blessed be He, satisfies him in the world to come. As it is stated, your judgments are like the great deep. Psalm 36, verse 7, indicating that God is exacting with the righteous and does not reward them in this world. And it is stated thereafter, they are abundantly satisfied with the plenty of your house, and you feed them drink of the river of your pleasures. Psalms 36, verse 9. When Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Babylonia, he said, the Holy One, blessed be He, will give each and every righteous person his handful. As it is stated, blessed be the Lord, who day by day bears our burden. God is our salvation, Salah. Psalms 68, verse 20. Abaye said to him, and is it possible to say so, that the Holy One, blessed be He, will give them his handful? But wasn't it already stated, who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure? That's Isaiah 40, verse 12. And if the span of the Holy One, blessed be He, is as great as the heavens, how can a person receive a handful from the Holy One, blessed be He? Rav Dimi said, what is the reason that you are not familiar with matters of Agada? As they say in the West, Eretz Yisrael, in the name of Rav Bar Mari, the Holy One, blessed be He, will give every righteous person 310 worlds, as it is stated, to bequeath to those who love me. Substance, or yesh, and I will fill their treasuries. Proverbs 8:21. In terms of its numerical value, the word yesh, spelled yod shin, is 310, indicating that God grants righteous a full measure. And I was just talking to my wife tonight about the Baal HaTorim. So if you're familiar with the Torah commentary, it's mainly dealing with numbers. It's a Torah commentary that's mainly a Remez commentary. A lot of it is numbers and allusions of different acronyms and things like that. At the very end, the very last entries in his commentary for the Torah, the end of the book of Deuteronomy, he numbers the open and closed sections or paragraphs, parshiot, in the Torah, and it's equivalent to the word gematriot, teaching you that every section of the Torah has gematriot or remez contained within it. And there were some other interesting ones too. It's not the place for it, but he's bringing up the text is bringing up gematria, so numerical values. So it says, in a related matter, it is taught in a Braita, if you would like me to do some Torah commentary with the Baal HaTorim, Torah commentary that's mainly dealing with numbers, let me know. It's all remez, all allusions. Okay. In a related matter, as taught in a Braita, that Rabbi Meir says, in accordance with the measure that a person mets out for others, the heavenly court mets out for him, that his response is commensurate with the action as it is written, in full measure, when you send her away, do you contend with her? Isaiah 27 verse 8. Rabbi Yehoshua said to Rabbi Meir, and is it possible to say that if a person gives his handful to a pauper in this world, the Holy One, blessed be he, gives him a handful in the world to come? But isn't it written, quote, and meted out heaven with the span? Isaiah 40 verse 12. He asked how one can receive so bountiful a reward. Rabbi Meir answered him, and you do not say so. Which of God's attributes is greater? Is the attributive reward greater, or is the attributive punishment greater? You must say that the attributive reward is greater than the attributive punishment. As with regard to the attributive reward, it is written, he commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and rained upon them manna to eat. Psalms 78, 23-24. And with regard to the attributive punishment, at the time of the flood, the verse states, and the windows of the heavens were opened. Genesis 7:11. To met out punishment, God opened only windows, which are considerably smaller openings than doors, indicating that the attributive reward is greater. But I think ultimately reward and punishment are just two sides of the same. They're like two sides of the same midot. So with regard to the attributive punishment, it is written, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses, the men who have rebelled against me, for their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorrence to all flesh. Isaiah 66:24. The Gemara asks, is it not so that when a person extends his finger to the fire in this world, he is immediately burned? How then can one withstand the fire of Gehenna, which is never extinguished? Rather, just as the Holy One, blessed be he, provides strength to the wicked to receive their punishment, so too the Holy One, blessed be he, provides strength to the righteous to receive their reward, his handful. The Mishnah teaches that Rabbi Akiva says, also one who reads external literature has no share in the world to come. The sages taught in Braita, this is a reference to reading books of heretics. Sifrei Minim, the books of heretics. Rav Yosef says, it is also prohibited to read the book of Ben Sira due to its problematic content. Abaye said to Rav Yosef, what is the reason that it is prohibited to read Ben Sira? If we say that it is prohibited due to the fact that Ben Sira wrote in it, quote, do not flay the skin of fish from its ear, so that its skin does not go to ruin, but roast it on the fire and eat it with 2 loaves of bread, and you believe it to be nonsense, that is not a sufficient reason. If your difficulty is from its literal meaning, that does not pose a difficulty, as in the Torah God also wrote, you shall not destroy its trees, Deuteronomy 20 verse 19. It is prohibited to destroy both trees and fish skin arbitrarily. So if your difficulty is from its homiletic interpretation as a euphemism, Ben Sira is teaching us proper conduct. A man should not engage in sexual intercourse in an atypical manner with his wife, as it causes her discomfort. So rather, perhaps the book poses a difficulty because it is written there, a daughter is for her father, false treasure. And due to fear for her, he will not sleep at night. During her minority, lest she be seduced. During her young womanhood, lest she engage in licentiousness. Once she has reached her majority, lest she not marry, once she marries, lest she have no children, once she grows old, lest she engage in witchcraft. Ben Sira, 42:11, verse 14. Perhaps you believe that one should not say this to the father of daughters. Didn't the sages also say it with regard to women? They said it is impossible for the world to exist without males and without females. Nevertheless, happy is one whose children are males, and woe unto him whose children are females. Rather, perhaps the book poses a difficulty because it is written there, do not introduce anxiety into your heart, as anxiety has killed mighty men. Ben Sira, 14:1 and 30:29. Didn't Solomon already say it in the verse, anxiety in a man's heart dejects him? Yashhena, Proverbs 12:25. Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi interpret the term homiletically and read it as Yeshihena. One who studies it means he shall remove it, or Yeshihena, from his mind, and that will ease his anxiety. And one who says he shall tell it, or Yeshihena, to others, and that will ease his anxiety, both agree with the statement of Ben Sira. Rather, perhaps the book poses a difficulty because it is written there, prevent the multitudes from inside your house, and do not bring everyone into your house. Ben Sira 11:37. But didn't Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi also say it, as it is taught in Braita, that Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi says a person should never have many friends inside his house, as it's stated, there are friends that one has to his own detriment. Proverbs 18:24. As though his association with them, he will become weak and ruined. Rather, perhaps the book poses a difficulty because it is written there, a sparse-bearded man is clever, a thick-bearded man is a fool. One who blows on his cup is not thirsty. One who said, with what will I eat bread? Take the bread from him. One who has a passage in his beard, the entire world is unable to overcome him. Abai suggests, due to all this nonsense, it is not appropriate to read this book. Rabbi Yosef said, even though there are passages in the book that are inappropriate, we teach the superior matters that are in it, even in public. A good wife is a good gift. She will be given into the bosom of a God-fearing man. Ben Sira 26, verse 3. A bad wife is leprosy for her husband. What is his remedy? He shall chase her from his house and will be healed from his leprosy. Ben Sira 25:30. A beautiful wife, happy is her husband. The number of his days is doubled. Ben Sira 26:1. Due to his happiness, it is as though his life is twice as long. Avert your eyes from a woman of grace, lest you be trapped in her snare. We also teach what it states there, avert your eyes from a woman of grace, lest you be trapped in her snare. Turn not to her husband to mix wine and strong drink with him, as many have been corrupted by the beauty of the beautiful woman, and mighty are all her fatalities. Ben Sira 9:9-11. Many are the wounds of a peddler. Ben Sira 11:36, which is in this context is referring to those who accustom others to matters of forbidden sexual relations. It says, like a spark ignites a coal. Ben Sira 11:43. Like a cage full of birds, so too their houses are filled with deceit. Ben Sira 11:36-37. Prevent the multitudes from inside your house, and do not bring everyone into your house. Ben Sira 11:37. Let many be those who greet you. Reveal your secrets to 1 in 1,000. From she who lies in your bosom, guard your opening of your mouth. Do not tell her everything, basically. Grieve not about tomorrow's trouble, because you know not what a day may bring. Perhaps tomorrow will no longer be, and one will have worried about a world that is not his. The verse states, all the days of the poor are terrible. Proverbs 15:15. The book of Ben Sira says, also the nights are terrible, as when the poor person worries. The poor person's roof is among the lowest roofs in the city, and in the elevation of the hills is his vineyard. At the highest point, as those are the lowest quality and consequently the least expensive places for each. From the rain on the roofs of the entire city, water will flow down to his roof and dampen it, and the soil of his vineyard is eroded by the rain and swept down to other vineyards. The Gemara provides a mnemonic for the statements that follow, based primarily on those who authored those statements. Zera, Rava, Meshashia, Hanina, Tovia, referring to Rabbi Hanina, who spoke of a good or tova wife. Yanai, Yafeh, referring to Rabbi Yanai, who spoke of one who is broad-minded, or Da'ato Yafeh. Yochanan Merachem, referring to Rabbi Yochanan, who spoke of one who was compassionate, or Merachem. Yehoshua Mekatzer, referring to Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, who spoke of one who is intolerant, or Da'ato Kitzara. Rabbi Zera says that Rav says, what is the meaning of that which is written? All the days of the poor are terrible, and for the good-hearted it is always a feast. Proverbs 15:15. All the days of the poor are terrible. These are masters of the Talmud, who invest constant effort in their study and encounter endless difficulties and questions. And for the good-hearted it is always a fast. These are matters of the Mishnah, who study only halakhic conclusions and encounter no difficulties. Rava says that the opposite is true, and this is that which Rav Mishar Shia said in the name of Rava. What is the meaning of that which is written? One who quarries stones shall be saddened by them, and he who chops wood shall be warmed by it. Ecclesiastes 10, verse 9. One who quarries stones shall be saddened by them. These are the masters of the Mishnah, as they invest effort but are unable to benefit from the effort, as they do not reach halakhic conclusions. And he who chops wood shall be warmed by it. These are the masters of the Talmud, who invest considerable effort and benefit from it as they reach halakhic conclusions. Rabbi Hanina says, all the days of the poor are terrible. This is referring to one who has a bad wife. And for the good-hearted it is always a feast. This is referring to one who has a good wife. Rabbi Yanai says, all the days of the poor are terrible. This is referring to one who is delicate, or istanis, one who is sensitive to repulsive items. And for the good-hearted it is always a feast. This is referring to one who is broad-minded, or da'ato yafeh. That is, he is not particular and will eat anything. Rabbi Yochanan says, all the days of the poor are terrible. This is referring to one who is compassionate, or merachem, as he always senses the suffering of the world and is constantly anxious. And for the good-hearted it is always a feast. This is referring to one who is cruel and indifferent to suffering in the world. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi says, all the days of the poor are terrible. This is referring to, and then it goes into tomorrow's daf, one who is intolerant, etc. So thanks for studying with me.